so we forsake dinero. Fly to Cairo, chill with pharaohs. Men fans are phone, me say me brebo. Life in the gate, I'm gonna get hey yo, ya bless. Oh na 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 na.
We're planning to launch in New York this summer.
Yes.
And then we also recently did the Essence partnership too.
Yes, I have been tracking the Essence.
Yeah. So that's going to be really exciting because it's a very exciting time in. It's a very exciting time in their era. They just recently rebranded a lot of things, and it's gonna be an interesting few months.
So before we all get into this Essence collaboration with Boateng glasses, okay, eyewear. Before we get in, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Yaa Yeboaa, host of Literary Voices, and this is my special guest tonight.
Hi, my name is Boateng from Boateng Eyewear. We make frames from reclaimed wood, sourced from Ghana. Happy to be here tonight.
Oh, I'm happy to have you in the seat. It's been a long time coming, and I know we've had an interview prior, but it's not still out yet. So this will be the interview that people are going to see, and it will be out there. Yes.
Right.
So, for those who don't know the history or the journey of Boateng Eyewear, I think for me personally, I chanced across it out of Montreal, and it's like, interesting. Ghanaian, Montreal, New York, a whole host of, the story behind it.
Right.
Who is the man behind this journey?
Right. I mean, so Boateng really came from a philosophy that I already had in terms of finding ways to incorporate eco-friendly luxury. So I call it Ecolux. So
Ecolux, okay.
Before back in the day, I used to do events where we would showcase high-end eco-friendly products and service, and the whole idea was to be able to incorporate sustainability into lifestyle seamlessly, without and making it look good. It didn't have to. It could still look high end. The perception that eco-friendly has to be a certain way, I think had to change. And I think
like the raggedy, gritty.
Like hipster, or like people think about hemp. But so I think over the years, perception of what's eco-friendly definitely changed. But I think the other aspect of everything was my connection to Ghana. I wasn't born in Ghana, but I did live there for about 5 to 6 years of my life, and I have been going there almost every other year, or every year at this point.
You were there just recently.
Right. I was there in December, first time in probably 15 years, and it was very overwhelming, but it was a good overwhelming. There was so much.
So I do understand you did something in December as well in Ghana regarding these products.
Right. So basically what we did is we hosted a few like mini showcase events where we brought people into the hub. So now the hub has been operational for about 4 months. Okay. And then also we also did a gifting for a few artists and also actors that were down there. Okay. I got to meet Lauren Hill and saw her perform live, and that was beautiful, breathtaking. And gave her a pair of our frames from our new collection. Okay. Too. And a few other.
I feel honored. Yes.
But yeah, like really, Ghana was a part of really my story that has kind of evolved over time. Because I definitely always had passion for eco-friendly products and also fashion, right? And anytime I go to Ghana, I realize that we have everything there, really.
Exactly.
The resources are there.
Yes.
everything is there. It's just a matter of how you utilize it, you know. And so for me, we want to be one of the leaders for manufacturing, specifically in eyewear, and maybe later down the line in other things. Eyewear obviously is specific to us because we've built a lot of data on, you know, a lot of the needs that there are on the continent, but also on a global scale, right?
So these eyewear are not just, you know, fashionable eyewear, but they are also prescription geared.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we're really trying to cater towards eye care. When we first started, we were just doing sunglasses, and then we realized that the real need is people who need glasses like 10 to 12 hours a day. So that's when we launched our first optical line, and then we started doing prescription eyewear, and then we partnered with a local lens factory in Ghana. So right now, I mean, that's been going well, and we're looking to continue to grow and expand that.
Okay, so let's get to this new line that you have. I know. So what I'm wearing is part of the new line, and what you're wearing is also part of the new line.
Yeah, that's
right?
correct.
Okay.
So the new line is called.
It's sexy.
It is. It is. To be honest, it's been our best selling line of all time. In the last 6 months, we sold more of these glasses than any other collection that we've had, and I think it's just a testament to really our evolution. When we launched this line, it was actually when we did our Kickstarter campaign, if you remember.
Oh, yes.
And originally the cause of the Kickstarter campaign was to be able to launch our hub in Ghana, because we wanted to take stepping stones into really get into manufacturing on the continent.
Yes.
But also as a perk, we wanted to redesign a line that really brought together a lot of the things that our customers said and liked about all our previous collections. Okay. Right, so that it was a combination of feedback and also innovation to get to a point where we can have something that's a little bit more elevated than our regular collections.
Yes, yes. And to tell you the truth, I love this, and I think you already know I loved it in Ghana.
Right. Where we had the prototype, you saw it.
Yes. When I saw the prototype, I fell in love with it, and I suppose I was expecting to get the prototype.
Right. I don't even know what happens to that prototype. I think it's still in Ghana, actually. Yeah.
I'm going in search for that one. Yes. So, so right now, as it is with the company, you know, I think because this is sort of it's not only about the eyewear but also the company formation, and there are young black men, women, or people out there who want to start companies. Right. Could you please enlighten us on how the journey has been, how it's been from, you know, starting this company in North America, some of the challenges?
Yeah, for sure. I think that, especially in Canada, it's always more challenging as a black entrepreneur to launch a business, because there's a lot you need to know outside of this, you know, your product and service, right? Like in terms of like how do you build your company structure to make it efficient, and also your accounting and so many other things, right? So I think honestly the most important thing is to surround yourself with people who can really fill that void of the information you don't know, because you as an entrepreneur, you need to be focusing on the business development and not necessarily just the day-to-day administration, which is the tough part, right? So I think having more education on the standards of how to run your business is important, you know, and I think people need to share more about their own experiences so that it can help other people. But I think surrounding yourself with the right people and the most skilled people is important.
So let's talk about your journey from the beginning to you getting up to the Dragon's Den? Because I think that was also one of, after seeing everything, then it linked me to the Dragon's Den. How was that experience? What led you there, and then how was that experience?
So when I first started Boateng, I was part of a program at my school, Carleton University, and basically it was an internship program to start your business. And one of the perks of that was they would tell you about different opportunities to pitch to like investors or mentors, competitions. So it just so happened that the Dragons were opening a new season, and they wanted student entrepreneurs to come for a live audience. So that was the very first time I came to Toronto. I went to CBC, and there was a live audience that we would pitch our idea. And I mean that was a great experience, just being able to be out there and talk about Boateng at that point. It was we're probably 2-3 months into the company.
So it was a baby.
It was very young, very young.
Yes. So how long has that been? 5 years?
6 years now.
Whoa, 6 years.
6 years.
And still keeping on going.
Yeah,
because
still going strong.
I do understand that in business, the first 2 years are the hardest, and when you're able to transition beyond that, then you solidify and you're able to move forward. You are in business, so you could,
I think the first 5 years are the hardest. The first 5 years, most business, 90% of businesses fail within that first 5 year period because of so many things, from like cash flow issues to, people burning out or disputes, whatever it is. So, yeah, it's those first 5 years are very important because you really need to build a culture where other people can thrive. Also a culture where people want to be part of what you're doing outside of the product, but also everything to do with the brand. Okay.
Wow. It's been a journey.
It has.
So what should we expect in the next few years with the brand?
In terms of the brand, you should expect a lot more. You should expect to see us in a lot more places, right? Like for example, we want to build a presence in more cities like Toronto, like such as New York, LA. Obviously, we're already in London, but just establish a presence over there on the ground. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have our own branded kind of showroom / hubs, kind of like what we did with East Lake Gone, but a little bit more elevated and luxury. And I also think that at that point we would have built a robust supply chain in West Africa, Ghana, and wherever else we need to go. And we're looking very closely at production with 3D printing and combined with using handmade methods like with bamboo and wood.
I was just about to ask, what are some of the woods that you normally use in these eyewear?
I think a staple for us is definitely ebony. Just because ebony has so much history, its richness and darkness. It's so texture. It makes me think of of Ghana, really. You know, we use a lot of walnut, bamboo, maple, redwood. Those are top 5 ones that we use consistently.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. So before we started this show, we were talking about the Essence collaboration, which is what the brand is doing right now. So let's go back to that conversation.
Right. Yeah, so Essence reached out to us about 6 or 7 months ago about a project that they were doing, which was Shop Essence,
Yes.
a whole retail experience. And like I said, the company is really trying to elevate the community, not just the Essence community, but overall, really trying to build a platform, right? So the whole slogan is a marketplace for entrepreneurs, for Black entrepreneurs.
Oh, okay.
And I honestly like, obviously it's still very fresh and we're still in the infancy stage, but I like the things that they're doing on the ground. They have a lot of obviously pop-up events. They have a lot of events overall, like Essence Street Style, Essence Fest. So
that gives it a lot of exposure.
Yeah, so I mean, all the products. I mean, the whole mandate for Essence actually is. I mean, Shop Essence is to empower Black women, especially black women who are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And obviously, they extend that to entrepreneurship overall in Africa. The current owner, Rich Liu, has his own brand, Share Moisture, or he had his own brand, Share Moisture. That he was.
Oh,
also,
that's him.
That's him. He founded that brand, and now he's obviously taking stuff to higher heights. So I'm interested to see what overall we could do with Essence, not just in the U.S. but also in Ghana and
across Africa
and beyond, right?
Yes. I think when it comes to Ghana, you have already planted, the seed with the hub that is operational, and the people that come through to the hub to see what is going on. Right.
We're hoping to grow out of that hub, pretty soon, and have an even bigger space where,
Or are you being kicked out?
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
I mean, we gotta anticipate these things, right?
Yes. Well, you definitely outgrow the space and the location, so it is understandable.
Right.
All right. So, if people want to know more about these, this eyewear, so what is the name of this eyewear?
This is the Bond collection.
The Bond.
Yeah.
Hey, so did I become a Bond girl?
You did. The moment you put on the glasses. No, I mean, so the Bond. So I was a huge. Me and my brother were both huge James Bond fans. But I mean, we call it the Bond because it's a very, very elegant, yet still very sleek.
Yes.
But the overall collection, Boateng 5 had the Bond, the Handsome Matte, Barclay Gold. And they're all very unique looks, which is why we're really looking forward to launching in New York, because we want to test ourselves on even bigger stages and see how we match up against everyone else.
Okay, beautiful.
Right.
So if somebody is looking to get a piece of Boateng eyewear, where can they go to?
So they can either reach out to us directly if they have any questions. Maybe they want the prescription glasses. They can book an appointment to come to our Toronto showroom. It's right downtown on Bay Street. Or if they're in Ghana, they can come to our Ghana hub and get a fit in too. So we can definitely help whoever needs help, whether it's online or in person. So they can just reach out to us at info@boateng.com.
Info@Boateng.
Info@boateng.com.
How do you spell the Boateng?
BOHTEN.
Okay, because I would hear Boateng and
say Boateng.
Yes, and that is why I wanted that distinction. Info@boateng.com.
That's correct.
And then they will get the necessary information that they need.
Right.
Beautiful. It's been a pleasure having you in the studios.
Thank you. I need to come back more.
You need to come back. No problem. We would love to have you. And this being an entrepreneur session, I do hope those who are watching, the young professionals or young people who want to get into business, would learn one or two things from your journey. And yes, we would love to have you in the studio next time to break it down business-wise for those who want to really understand the business of, business. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, the business of entrepreneurship.
Oh, the business of entrepreneurship. Not the business of business. The business of entrepreneurship. I've been your host, Nana Yaa Yeboaa, and with me is
Nana Boateng
of
Boateng Eyewear.
And a great many thanks to my executive producer, Chief Yinka, who has had the patience to put this together. Thank you.